Hi guys, welcome back to the series on Braids 101. The first one was about benefits of braids and why you should get them if you're considering them. So do check out the video below. Do check out the video above if you want to see that clip. So this video is going to be more about how I maintain my braids. I've had these in now for about 4 months and they still look pretty good, but I'm a bit bored of them, so I'm going to take them out today. Again, I'm going to show you later on in the series how to detangle your hair, how to take your braids out, so that's going to follow. But for now, this is just going to be about my braids maintenance and how I have had them in for so long and how they still look pretty good. So I'm going to avoid this video being a very long ramble session by starting off with what I use on a daily basis. So I tend to use sulfate when my hair is feeling a bit itchy, or sometimes when I just feel like it, because I kind of like the sensation that it has. It gives you this tingly sensation, especially if your hair is like clean. It's got sulfur and it's really good for anti-dandruff, because I know that some women suffer from dandruff when they're in braids or when they just have the same hairstyle for a long time. I know there are a variety of reasons for that. I don't particularly know why. Thankfully, I don't really suffer from dandruff that much, but I think that this is a really good braid spray. It's called a conditioner, so I guess it qualifies as a leave-in conditioner, but I find that it's pretty good for me. So this is what I use usually about twice a week because it stinks. I tend to use it at night time. As far as products I use in the morning, I tend to use this braid spray. Yeah, I really like it because it's moisturizing. It's got loads of glycerin in it, and that's really good for your hair. It draws in the moisture from the air and I like it. Some people find that their hair doesn't respond very well to glycerin, but to be honest, if your hair's in braids, you won't really be getting that mushy feeling that some people report when they have their hair moisturized with glycerin products. I've been using this for a long time and it's not a problem for me. In terms of hair texture, my hair is 4B. For washing my hair, I like to use sulfate-free shampoos, and I have a video showing you how I wash my braids. I use the Australian Organics intensive care shampoo, because it's sulfate free, and as a dry 4B headed girl, I find that shampoos that have sulfates can be quite drying in my hair. And I think especially when you have braids and you don't have access to, or you're not really permitted to do loads of deep conditioning with thick conditioners, it's really important that you use a shampoo that's not stripping, not drying your hair, because even though you're in braids, it doesn't mean you shouldn't wash your hair. I think it's quite important to do that. I'm pretty sure everyone has been behind a girl in a queue with braids whose hair stank. I mean, I've had someone say to me, oh my gosh, like, why do you wash your hair in braids? You should not do that. No way. I think you should definitely wash your hair, because you just have that musty feeling otherwise, and it's disgusting. No one likes to smell old manky braids. And then in terms of deep conditioning, to be honest, I tend to use any conditioners, any of a range. So for instance, I have this mane and tail deep conditioner. I like this again because it's quite deep moisturizing, and this is really good for my natural hair. I really enjoy it. So the only thing I do is that I dilute this conditioner after washing my hair before I apply it, simply because when you have braids, you can imagine that conditioner molecules, especially this big, won't really be able to penetrate, so it will be hard for you to wash it out, and it might feel a bit weird. So it's really good to dilute them, that way they can do their job better. After that, so I've washed my hair, I've conditioned my hair, I like to use oils for my scalp. I find that this really helps me with dandruff. I know I mentioned that I don't really get dandruff, but prevention is better than cure. So if I don't oil my hair for like a month, I would definitely start seeing like some, you know, dandruff chilling there, which is not very nice. So I like to use avocado oil. Again, it's very moisturizing. I think the reason why I focus so much on moisture is because as the 4B hair, my hair tends to be quite dry. And when I say 4B, I'm just referring to the hair type system, which means that my hair is like basically on the kinkiest end of the spectrum. So avocado oil is very good for me. Finally, or not finally, before I go to bed, I always use a silk scarf on my hair. And it's so easy to get silk scarves. They're quite cheap as well if you know where to look. If you're a vintage shopper like me, you can watch one of my videos showing you how to vintage shop. you will get these for about £1 or £2. I actually got this free when I bought a jumpsuit about 2 weeks ago. So I have so many scarves. The benefit of this is that they help your hair, your braids to last longer. So it's not going to be messy while you sleep, because you can imagine your braids are in and sometimes they can start unraveling, and this helps with that. So if your hair is scarfed down, you won't have the tension of your ends rubbing against the pillow, etc, etc, etc. It's really good. It helps to keep your hair neater as opposed to messy. If you don't believe me, try and have braids and then don't wear a scarf for an entire month and see if it lasts that long. It won't. You don't need to do that, but it just makes sense. And then finally, for day to day, especially when you've had your braids in for a long time like me, I like to use a ball bristle brush to just brush my edges like so, and I use the softest that I can get because I'm not really a fan of using harsh materials on my hair. You don't want to break your hair, you don't want to cause unnecessary split ends, but inevitably as your hair grows out, it's going to get messy at the front. So this is what I do. I literally use the side. I don't even use this bit. I use the side to just brush it that way, and that's it, and I'm good to go. If you want it super neat, after moisturizing your hair, brush that, use your scarf for about 5 minutes before you leave the house, and then take it off. Voila, you have very neat hair. So that's it. That's how I maintain my hair, and that's how I've gotten my hair to last me this long for four months now. So that's it in terms of how I got my hair to last so long. I mean, this time it's been 4 months, but last time it was 5 months. And if you want your hair to last that long, one of the other suggestions that I have is to take time out, probably once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks, not necessarily in the first month or so. I think by the time you get into your second month, as your hair is growing in, you will notice that your hair is not looking as neat as it initially did the first time you had your braids done. So what you do in that case is just take a couple of braids from the front, the side and the back, so probably about 1 inch round, you know, pop a movie on, take it out and then put it back in. There are loads of videos on YouTube that teach you how to braid your hair, and this way you disguise the fact that your hair is growing out. So as I showed you in my first video, you can see how much new growth I have, but you can't really tell when you watch this video, when you see me, because I tend to redo the perimeter of my hair and the side, so that way when you wear it in a ponytail and everything, it still looks pretty good. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like and look out for the next video where I will show you quickly how to transform your braids into curls. So watch that, and thank you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.